Welcome back to DIY Willie. Today it's a hot one, man. You can see the sun is right there. It's bright. Come on, sun. I kind of miss those winter days we had there for a while. But yeah, in the driveway today we've got the 2008 Nissan Frontier crew cab 4x4, and we're going to put on some parts that came in from Z1 Offroad. I like their boxes. That's pretty cool. They put that design on their box like a UPS truck. But let's check out what we got. So taking a look, gave us a little bag. Inside this bag, I believe hardware, is a little Allen screwdriver, some hose clamps, some banjo fittings, and yeah, some banjo fittings, with some seal washers and crush washers for the banjo fittings. And oh, this is their billet radiator piece. It goes to the heater core over there. This one won't break. We're not going to get to this install today though. I don't have any coolant to replace the coolant with. We'll do that another day. And what's left here? Oh, there's a couple clamps. I believe these are hose clamps for the heater hoses. This is a good piece. I'll still leave a link in the description for this piece, and you can pick them up. They had them on sale right now during this 4th of July sale, and we grabbed them. But what we're going to work on today is an oil catch can, and yeah, gave us a couple more stickers. And what's this? Oh, a nice billet Z1 off-road. This is the oil fill on the valve cover. Pretty nice. It's hefty. Just decorative stuff, you know. Put that back in there. But here is the catch can. That's a really nice piece. Very nice quality. And that really nice piece. Got the inlet, the outlet, drain. You can take it apart and empty it, wash it out, clean the screen, whatever. I think there's a metal screen in there. I haven't looked inside yet, but yeah, it came with the wrench to take those 4 screws out so it'll come apart, and the bracket to install it. Put it back in its container. It's a really nice piece. I don't know how it's going to be with smog. I don't know if they'll give me any huff about it. But hey, I can always take it off when it comes time to smog. We only smog twice a year. Or once every 2 years. That's why you say it. There's a mounting bracket. Looks like it mounts on the throttle body. Right there, Z1, looks nice. And we got some hoses, some preformed, pre-shaped hoses. And yeah, pretty nice. I think they're a silicone grade. Yeah, they are. Pretty nice hoses. So the kit doesn't come with your instructions. You have to go to their website and print them out. And I just printed them out in black and white. I didn't want to use up my ink on my color. But I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, really simple. Yeah, it's going to be an easy job, I think. I think the hardest part of this job is going to be reaching the back of the passenger side valve cover to remove the existing hose. That's the problem, and putting this hose back on might prove to be a little bit difficult too. It's tight back there, as you've seen when I've done other work. But yeah, you've seen the parts. Talked about the truck. So the reason we're doing this is you can see, if you ever take your plenum off to do your spark plugs or something like that, you'll see there's a lot of oil down in the plenum, and it comes from your PCV system, from your valve cover, and the hose goes from the back of your valve cover up to the inside intake plenum just behind the throttle body. And this kit will interrupt that system and the vapor, the oil vapor, will be able to go into the can, and the oil itself will collect in the can, and the vapor, or what's left of the vapor pressure, will go back to the intake manifold as it's designed to from the factory. So we're not really venting that off into the atmosphere. We're still going to send it back into the engine, but it will just be cleaner because the oil will get captured inside the oil catch can. I hope that makes sense. I've got a good image of it in my head, but I'm having trouble getting it out in the morning. It's pretty early right now. I haven't had my coffee yet, and well, I need to get started before the day gets much hotter. So yeah, we've seen the parts and talked about what it does a little bit. Let's get going. Let's get it installed. Okay, so I've already taken the top off here, off the plenum. This is right behind the throttle body, right there. And I've kind of moved it up out of the way, or back out of the way, down there. You can see it. It's this hose right here. I've kind of just moved it out of the way, because where we're trying to get is right back here. You see my finger right here? Okay, that's the PCV valve on the back of the valve cover. And the hose is right there. You can kind of see me pointing my fingers right here. So you want to get back. It's a tight spot. I just locked my small vice grips up on the clamp. There are clamping tools you can use to remove the clamps, and I just squeeze them with that, and I can pull them off, and then I can pull that hose off of there. I found that's the easiest way to do it. And yeah, so I'm gonna get it done right now. Woo, is it a warm one today? So I decided to take a closer look at the actual catch can. The table's jiggling, isn't it? So there's 3 screws. Let's see if we get this lined up again. There's 3 screws on the lid, on the top. They're these long ones. They work with the Z1 screwdriver that came with the kit. You just take those 3 screws out, and it'll come apart. It's got a nice O-ring gasket right here. And then, of course, the plug on the bottom, I found it to be a 6mm. And you can unscrew it. It's also got an O-ring on the bottom to seal. We'll keep that in place though. Just like that. And in here we've got this, I don't know what the technical name for this would be, but this is what's going to condense the vapors. It's got a screen inside, as you can see. You got these 4 screws right here that you can remove and take this piece out and wash that screen whenever you empty it, and make sure that the system will be in its best operational condition. So put it back together. The in is the side. I'm going to tighten these screws back down. And is it warm today? I need my umbrella. I got my fan running behind me, but that's not quite enough. Now we're not going to really wrench these down. We're kind of going to do a pattern to them. Just get them down, get them started. And we want them down evenly so that it tightens up evenly against the O-ring. Don't just tighten one down all the way at a time. See right there? Just work them around. There we go. Good and tight. Seals up against that O-ring. Yeah, it's pretty nice. And you know, we'll get it all installed. You got some different holes you can clock this thing at. Let's see what we can do. All right, so now that we've got a good look at it, what it is and what it does, let's get it installed. I think first we're going to put the bracket in, and then we'll worry about doing the hoses. That way we can better determine which hose goes where. You know, I have the instructions. I can kind of see what's what. Yeah, let's kind of put it in place, and then we'll really see which hoses to use. And we got all of our clamps here. It came with everything. Came with the crush washers. For the banjo fittings, you know, they go on here like this. Ooh, this part's getting hot in the sun. And when you put it all together, it'll seal up real nicely. You got the screws to attach to the bracket, and they all work with the same screwdriver. So let's get up there and get it installed on the truck. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and install the bracket first. Got the bracket right here. It installs on the throttle body. Now, if you don't have a throttle body spacer like I do, then you would have the, I think it's 8mm Allen wrench bolts. I have the throttle body spacer, so these are 10mm bolts. And I've got my 10mm here. And we'll just go ahead and take them off. Okay, so we got our bolts out. We're just going to put them through our bracket like this. Right here. Really shaking. Run them back in. That mounts the bracket. Make sure they're good and tight. There is a torque specification for these. It's about 2 ugga-duggas. Or 2, but we got it. It's an O-ring seal, so it's good. There's the bracket installed. I'm gonna go ahead and temporarily install. Ooh, that thing got hot. The catch can. I think I'll put it in that position right there. I'm just going to put a couple of the screws in first, just to hold it in place. Like I said before, we can clock it to whatever position we need it in for the hoses. Here we go. There. I'll go ahead and figure out the routing of the hoses now. Now it gave us 2 hoses. We already have the Nissan hose out. We still got the 2 clamps on it, and well, here anyway is the new like a silicone hose. So I could say this one goes there probably like that. Seems to match perfect. So this kind of J-shaped will be the top hose, and this hose will be the bottom hose. Looks about right. I think I'll go ahead and put them on just like that. I would like to use these clamps, but they might be too tight for the silicone. I don't know what they give me. Oh, they gave me the same clamps, only a little bit larger. So we'll get these installed, we'll get these hoses in, and we'll do the banjo fittings. I know it's really hard to see in the back. I'll try to get a shot of it later. I've got the hose ready to go on. I've got the clamp kind of set on there, kind of lining it up where it needs to go. I'm going to reach back there and push it on, and then I'll put the clamp in place. Hopefully. Now, if you were to remove the plenum, it would make it a lot easier. I'm just trying to take a shortcut and not remove the plenum. But I am blind, and I need a flashlight. Let's see where I'm going. I'm going right there. It goes on nice. Slipped on there easy enough. Now if I can just get the clamp up. I think if you were to use a little bit of lubricant on those hoses, the clamps would slide a lot easier. But that one's on. Now we'll get ready to do the top. Now I'm going to put the clamp on. I'm going to use a little bit of silicone lubricant, just a squirt, to help lubricate this as it goes on. And it just plugs on the back of the intake plenum on here. Oh yeah, it made a big difference using that silicone lubricant. There we go. Now, all we gotta do is do the banjo fittings now. Just like that. All right. All right, so we've got our banjo fittings assembled on the hose, got the clamps on, got the hose put on. I did use a little bit of the silicone spray just to make things easier. You want to put 2 crush washers, one on the top, press it through, and one on the bottom. These will make the seal. I also see another thing you want to make sure you do is that this clamp needs to be at the top. Easy enough. There, needs to be at the top. Now this is the 8mm Allen. Let me just go ahead and tighten her down. Make sure the crush washers are in the right spot. Tighten her down. Just like that. Get the other 2 crush washers on the inlet side banjo fitting. I don't see any reason to put any type of thread sealant on this or Loctite or anything, because these don't really have any pressure. Battery cable gets in the way a little bit. I'm fighting that battery cable. There we go. Once we get it started, it's easy. Make sure that crush washer gets in the right spot. There's a little lip for it to rest on. We go it this way. We'll tighten her down. There we go. That's all she wrote. Well, I got one more screw to go in top right here. There we go. Very nice. I like it a lot. All the hoses are here. You could have actually cut this one down a little bit, made it shorter and brought it closer to this, but I mean, it's got plenty of room. So that wraps up the install of the Z1 off-road catch can for the Nissan 4.0 V6. Oh wait, there's one more thing we got to do. So we've got the oil cap from the valve cover right here, and we've got the new Z1 billet oil cap. Really nice piece. We're gonna go ahead and install that. That itself will add like 10 horsepower, I swear. That's a nice piece. There we go. Look at that. That finish. Ooh, it looks nice against the Z1 off-road coils. Yeah. That's a nice piece. We'll put this one away. Save it for a rainy day if we need it. So that's it. We wrapped up that install. That was a great install. Got the oil cap on. I mean, it should. So really, you shouldn't notice any change in the running habits, really. We're just not going to get the oil residue down into the intake plenum that we saw in other videos. So the catch cam was easy. We got it done. And well, that's it. Another successful DIY Willy project. And it's stupid hot out here. I'm going to have to call it a day. clean up and go inside. So thanks for coming. Thanks for stopping by and checking out my videos. I always come back to DIY Willie for your Nissan Frontier needs, your mini bike needs, whatever, man. You know, it's all good here. We do it all. And I'll let you know about this catch can a little bit later, see how it does. So thanks, and I'll see you next time.